Alright, had a few friends ask me how I did this for fishing. I mainly use this setup for ice fishing now, but you need coaxial cable. This was actually left over from a Comcast install at my house, so it's just your basic coaxial cable. And you have to expose about 3 inches of the copper on both ends. One end's going to stick out of the water into your phone, and then the other end's going to attach to the GoPro. I'll show you that in a moment here. But little trick to at least this kind, there's a plastic, white plastic tube. Found it easier to melt down to that once you're cut past this black plastic with the shielding. When I was trying to use the wire cutter, it hit this copper. It's really fragile, and it would break. So use like a heated up knife or something like that to melt down to the copper versus cutting it. Now for this part, this is actually just the part of the case that the GoPro came with. It's like mounted on top of it, so a little bit of a low risk prototype here. So you can see I did some very nice fab work. Drilled a hole through it, put the cable through, knot on both ends, put the knots really tight, and then I used a zip tie here because it actually helped level out the camera. See how it's nice and level. And for this part, I left part of the white. Like I said, this is pretty brittle, and what I found is if you leave part of the white, you can adjust this and it doesn't flex on that copper too much. Worst case, you could always just, cut more and readjust, but I tried to at least make it so I could mess with this a little bit. And right here, I used some heat shrink tubing to kind of seal it and also provide a little bit more stability to this piece. Now here's where more of the details come into play. All right, so basic GoPro session here, and what I did was I used needle files to actually shave down part of the case here so I could send the copper through and make sure it's pretty tight along the back there. I didn't really leave too much space there. But how I did that was trying to be gentle. Once again, like I said, that copper is pretty fragile, but get you some footage here. All right, so across the back here, I use needle files to shave that down. See how I did that? I try to leave a lot of the material there. I don't want to really compromise the rigidity of the case. And then I just shove the GoPro in there. By needle files, what I mean is like these guys, a lot of people have this kind of set, Harbor Freight, really cheap. And I use the sharp edge, just file it down. That's it. So you hook it up to your GoPro, turn on your app, and the Wi-Fi will still work amazingly. It would cut out occasionally, but I was using it. It was 10 degrees outside, water temp was super cold, and it was still working. So hope this works for you, and hope it helps. Hope you have fun. Bye.